Well, that was the scene at the Mall of America this time last year when the Black Lives Matter movement held a massive protest, resulting in 25 arrests and hundreds of protesters disrupting holiday shoppers. With just 3 days to go till this year's Christmas, officials at the mall asked a judge to block a protest scheduled for tomorrow to avoid a repeat of the chaos. The judge's ruling came in just a short time ago, and it bars just 3 Black Lives Matter organizers mentioned in the mall's lawsuit, but does not stop others from attending the protest. Joining me now, a criminal defense attorney and former prosecutor, Mark Eiglarsh, and trial attorney, Deborah Blum. All right, Deborah, I'll start with you first. What do you make of this ruling? Because it appears, based on the ruling, the protesters will be able to show up anyway.
Well, let's talk about why there's a call to organize for Black Lives Matter. Did you know that 1 in 3 African-American males should expect to wind up in prison during their lifetime? Are you aware that over 60% of the prison population are African-Americans and Hispanics?
Okay, but Deborah, let's stick to the point that the mall's saying this is private property. All right, Mark, to you.
Well,
will you answer the question? What do you make of the ruling? The mall says this is private property. This affected their sales last year. Do you agree with it?
Well, of course, and forget about what I think. Let's go back to 1999 when the Minnesota Supreme Court made it very clear in the Wickland case that malls are private property. And they've used that good law ever since to control who has access to their premises, and they can keep who they want out.
Deborah, look at the scene at that mall last year. People couldn't even shop. The stores couldn't make sales when they took over the mall.
You know, we should focus on what the issue here is. In other countries, such as in Israel, when there's a national public holiday, people stop and appreciate the holiday. Christmas is supposed to be about more than just gifts. So we should focus on the issue here, which is that close to 70% of African Americans and Hispanics are incarcerated. And yes,
Deborah,
there's also the argument that this is semi-public property because they receive public funding.
All right, Mark, go ahead.
Great arguments, all rejected across the board by the Supreme Court when they made their decision. And the issue around the holidays is the safety and experience of the patrons in the mall. And the mall has the right to control and protect the people who come into their private mall.
Which the judge allows them to do. She just said, I can't keep every person out. You didn't name thousands of people that are part of Black Lives Matter.
They'll be kept out. They'll be kept out when they show up.
Let's move to the next story because we had another ruling coming down today. We've all been following the Redskins, the Patton story. A federal appeals court today ruled that the provision used to strike down the Washington Redskins trademark is unconstitutional. Mark, do you agree with this one?
Well, of course. The First Amendment gives wide latitude for offensive and even outrageous speech, and the government shall not deny trademarks from being issued merely because they think that people may be offended by the speech. It is protected. It's un-American to deny people the right to free speech, even if it's outrageous.
Deborah, where do you fall on this one? The court found that the restriction is an impermissible government influence on freedom of speech.
Well, they made it a carve-out to First Amendment protection, or they said that there isn't such protection in this case. But here we also need to focus on the question. This is a community who is very offended by the name Washington Redskins, as they should be.
What community, which community are you referring to?
The Native American Indians, and they are very upset that such a derogatory term is being used for a football team and many other teams for that instance. What if there was the Berlin Jews? What if Germany came out with a football team called the Berlin Jews?
I'll address that.
Well,
go ahead, Mark.
I'll tell you this. I'm going to answer your question. If they did, I would represent them pro bono in spite of the fact that I'm Jewish, because as long as we protect their rights, then my rights will be around when I want to speak in this country.
Well, it's the same thing here. People would be very offended, or people are very offended here. So there has to be a limit drawn. It is America, and I celebrate being American, but we have to have some limitations.
All right, spirited discussion, so much so that we're going to keep you around. Our legal panel will stick around to weigh in on the most ridiculous lawsuits of 2015. one including a child who sued over a hug. Plus, from the Miss America stage to Miss Suspended, the beauty queen that found herself in a world of trouble after she launched into Michael Moore and Muslims. Well, 2015 was a busy year for lawyers with bizarre head-scratching cases that left us all thinking, what just happened? Like the lawsuit involving this woman, Jennifer Connell, who sued her 12-year-old nephew for $127,000 for breaking her wrist at his birthday party 4 years ago with a hug. We're back with criminal defense attorney Mark Eiglarsh and trial attorney Deborah Blum. All right, Deborah, I got to get your take on this. He gives her a hug. She falls. She breaks her wrist. And she's suing her nephew, $127,000.
This case is absolutely ridiculous. Her nephew jumped into her arms, which caused her to fall and break whatever she broke. But why is she suing her nephew? It's because he inherited money from his deceased mother.
There's money behind every story, right, Mark? Is this a good case?
No, it's ridiculous. Listen, hashtag worst aunt ever. But I will tell you that she did then come on to one of the media outlets and say that she was injured, obviously, and wanted to sue her homeowners association, but or homeowners insurance, and had to name him as the party and felt bad about it.
By the way, she failed because he was so excited to see her. He jumped up in her arms.
Auntie Jen, I love you. I love you.
I know it well. It's just heartbreaking. And then there's this story. The armed bank robber, remember this one? He's suing over injuries that he incurred while he was fleeing the scene of a bank robbery. He said, I was obviously unarmed and severely shot up. He claims that the medical bills that he got from gunshot wounds amounted to more than $300,000, and the officers failed to stop the other officer from trying to execute me.
Good
He's
lawsuit.
suing.
No, good. This is a good one. Sandra, in his defense, this is a good one. I think police should stop using bullets. They should tickle armed robbers into submission. And then we wouldn't have these incidents like this.
All right, Deborah, do you have any sympathy?
I can't say that I have any sympathy. This guy is a bad armed robber, and he's a bad litigant.
Okay.
And
but does
clogging
he
up the
have
system.
a case? Does he have a case, Mark?
Hell no. Hell no. Frivolous. Get out of town. And you know what? If they beat him up in the jail, I'm not in favor of it, but I'm not going to protest in his behalf.
Let's move on to the monkey. The macaque monkey, this the animal rights group, PETA, is now suing on behalf of this monkey for ownership of selfies. A selfie like the one that you're seeing right now. This is the British nature photographer David Slater. He took the pictures. It's an endangered species in Indonesia. He left his camera tripod there to get the pictures. Anyway, there's a major copyright court battle. PETA is suing on behalf of Naturo the monkey. Mark.
Please. Really? No. Monkey gets no rights. PETA, you're diluting your already diluted brand in picking a battle on this case. Focus on people who really abuse animals and leave this alone.
Deborah, does the macaque monkey have any rights here?
I can't say that the monkey does, although it's adorable. I hope that the photographer gives some of the benefits and proceeds from his sales to the monkey, but PETA is definitely barking up the wrong tree here.
Mark, what does this say about all the lawyers taking on these cases?
Yeah, there's a problem. I'm not defending him. No, won't take that battle.
All right. Thank you
Sandra,
both for
happy
joining
holidays
us.
to you. Nice to see you.
To both of you.
Happy holidays.
Thank you. Well, beauty